What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another long-awaited episode of the In Between the Sticks podcast. I am Kale, as always, joined by my co-hosts Drew and Austin here. Excited to be getting into another episode. On the other hand, not excited that we started our season 0-2, because as fans, obviously, you want to win. But this wasn't necessarily out of the realm of what we potentially expected. So in an interesting spot. Got a new quarterback on the field. Got a lot of things that we're going to be talking about that we saw that we think are going to be a lot of positive moving forward. We got a lot of negative that's going to have to get cleaned up. And so we're really just going to go from there and, talk about the first couple weeks, what we've seen, and then hopefully get into a little bit of review of what we think is going to happen and hope is going to happen this weekend against the Colts. So again, been a while, so glad that you're hopefully tuning in, listening to us, watching us on YouTube, whatever the case. Just continue liking the videos. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more of us, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And you can follow us on Twitter. I believe we have an Instagram, and also we post a lot of our clips on YouTube, Reels, and TikTok. So you'll be able to find us there. But I mean, for me, I think just jumping right in here, we had a week 1 loss to the Denver Broncos in Denver, 20-12. So I want to get y'all's kind of first takes, maybe some positives, negatives, what you saw from the week 1 loss, and we'll go from there.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll start it off first. I mean, let me say this: there's been a lot of negatives on Twitter, social media in general about the Titans, how we look bad, we look this, we look that, coaching's bad, players are bad. Gentlemen, no one expects us to win these first 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I get it. If we would have came out here week 1 and played the Panthers and looked like that against the Panthers, yeah, absolutely, I'd have some problems. We just played 2 of the best defenses we're going to play all season. 2 Hall of Fame coaches, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, 2 great quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Matthew Stafford, who is a Hall of Fame quarterback, by the way. Devontae Adams, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Puka Nacua is a top 5 receiver. And the Broncos are just a great schematic team.
The Rams, look, the Broncos are young, and they got a lot of up-and-coming stuff, but the Rams are legit. They could legitimately be contenders.
They were in the NFC Championship last year and gave the Eagles all they could handle. And people want to come out here and, they're complaining and they're throwing tantrums on Twitter about how we're terrible. Guys, these teams are contenders. We're not. We're in year 1 of a rebuild with a rookie quarterback, a second-year head coach. I mean, young players all across the field, youngest roster in the league. We didn't expect them. If you thought we were going to win either of these 2 games, you're sadly mistaken. Was I sitting there like some of y'all during the game thinking, man, we can really win this? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I didn't expect the games to be as close as they were, if I'm being honest. So,
I mean, I think you just nailed it on the head. Where I think if you were a common sense fan, you came into this not thinking we were going to win, but based on the play that we had in both first halves of both games, you were like, "Whoa, hold on!" we got a chance.
Yeah.
I think hot topic right now, Callie on the hot seat, right? Or is he? It's either or. I don't really think it's necessarily Callie on the hot seat. I think it's, will Amy make a stupid decision yet again? She's shown time and time again that she is a very emotional owner. And if she keeps losing, I don't doubt that Callahan won't be out of here. Has he shown that he should be? Maybe. Has he shown that he shouldn't be? At times. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like Roller said, we're in year 1 of a rebuild. Rookie quarterback, first 2 games of his career, right? Year 2 head coach, year 2 offensive coordinator, year 2 defensive coordinator. We have Fossil, however you say his name, for special teams, his first year, which, by the way,
phenomenal.
I mean, we got to be like a top 3 special teams unit right now.
That is easily the most improved area of our team.
Here's the thing. Why have we been in these games?
Special teams, straight up.
Because Chimray DK is that
field
guy.
Field position battle.
He turns the field over.
Yep. Johnny Hecker too, man. Johnny Hecker can boot that.
He's
ball,
been punting that thing.
Johnny Hecker's been great. Yeah, his hang time and his directional punting. I was worried about it coming into the season, but he's been phenomenal.
Also, Joey Sly is a
shout out Joey Sly, because he has all but like 1 score for us, literally.
Yeah. Joey Sly has been booting the ball.
Special teams unit, phenomenal. Defense for the most part has been playing their butts off. Minus a couple plays that that we've missed and have let up points. I mean, you think about, now week 1, I mean, it was just a thing of we just couldn't get first downs. I mean, it's plain and simple. Offense really struggled. Defense played their best, but you can only do so much, especially being a Mile High Stadium and you're on the field like that running
We turned
around.
them over 3 times, really had
turnover on special teams.
Solid game, yeah.
So there's only so much you could do. But week 2, I mean, you think about it, man, we are a couple plays away. I think the 2 that come to my mind is the 4th and 1 that we were on defense, and I believe it was Xavier Woods, or it was either Woods or Dix, one of the 2. I can't remember who it was, but they shot the right hole to hit Nakua and tackle him for a loss and turnover on down, but he just rips, and then,
sure it was Woods.
And then Puka runs for a touchdown. So you take those 7 points away, and then DK ran one on special teams all the way back that Cedric Gray got a penalty on. And hot take, it was a penalty. It
was kind of bogus.
No, that's a penalty through and through.
He
led with his shoulder.
By rule,
he led with his shoulder.
I just don't like.
You've got to be more disciplined than that, bro. He has passed you. He has passed you. You have no sense of blocking that guy.
And I'm pretty sure it was like the punter or the snapper. I'm like, bro.
And Fassel even came out and said, that's a penalty every single time. Like that's by the book. That we shouldn't. And so you take Puka's touchdown away, you give us that touchdown, we're tied 26-26.
And you got to think about the fact that, people were giving Callie a little bit of crap for not being as aggressive after we scored the touchdown, and then Cody Barton gets that pick right before half, and we end up taking points. Shout out Cody Barton. That dude's been
playing his butt off.
We end up taking points there instead of getting a little more aggressive because we had a couple timeouts in the pocket and just trying to get it. But we had the lead going into halftime. Like, yeah, maybe you wanted him to be a little more aggressive. I get that. But we were winning against a very, very good football team at halftime. And things fell apart a little bit. So
think about how the game had been going, though. Like, our offensive line, like, we'll get to that here in a second. But, like, people got mad at him because he was too aggressive last week against the Broncos when we were trying to get down the field before half. And that was a whole
rightfully
blunder.
so.
Rightfully so. That was bad coaching. That was definitely not good coaching at all. And then they're mad enough when offense is, struggling, and we decide we're just not going to force it with a rookie quarterback. Don't put him in a bad situation. Don't get a sack to get out of field goal range. Take your 3 points, go in the half up against literally one of the best teams in football. I mean, this team was literally in the NFC Championship last season, got better this season, and are looking to go even further this year. So, like, I mean, pump the brakes a little bit. I know people are upset because the Titans haven't won, but these are 2 good teams we're talking about. Like 2 really, really good teams we're talking about.
Yep. And yeah, like the biggest thing that jumps off the page to me, and I'm going to give you a positive side and I'm going to give you a negative side. So we can start with the positive side and then move on to the bad news here. But the positive is Cam, given his stats, second game stats were a little bit better on paper. First game stats didn't look great on paper. He played a lot better than the stats showed, though. The poise he played with, the composure he played with, he didn't turn the ball over in the first game. He did have a little bit of he fumbled the ball in the second game, which is
was
tough.
A problem of his coming out of college.
It is. He knows he's got to get 2 hands on that. And I'm confident that he'll continue to work on that. But overall looked really good, made some very, very impressive throws, and has quite a rapport going with Alec Iomanner, who is the other part of my positive, and looks very good. Looks like what we wanted, and what we thought the value could potentially show, even for, of the 4th rounder that he was. Yep. So obviously a big touchdown catch on the scramble drill. That was awesome. And made some really good sideline catches, and arguably made a catch with his elbow inbounds in that first Broncos game. Cam clearly has a one-on-one confidence in Alec, and that is needed because there is a clear and obvious double team, pay a lot of attention to number 0, on top of the fact that
he can't catch
He
at
can't
the
catch
moment.
a cold. He can't catch a cold right
now.
now.
He is so cold right now. Like,
And
wowza. Wow.
I have no doubt that he's going to turn it around, but it has
For
sucked
sure. I
to
mean,
see
dude,
that.
he had a 1,000-yard receiving season with Will Levis. Like, it's 2 bad games.
It's gonna take one game.
2 bad games.
It's gonna take one game for him to get into a rhythm, and that's where we'll be. So those are my positives. I like what we're seeing. Gunner hasn't been out there, doing a ton just as far as getting on the stat sheet. He has made a couple plays, couple good catches in the Broncos game, but I do think he looks good and will continue to get more snaps. So the rookies are just doing well. I mean, obviously we've already touched on DK and the returning that he's doing. So very excited about what we're seeing from our rookie class. The negative side of it, and this is where a lot of my negative is going to come from. Now, obviously, you can point at the offensive line because it hasn't been what we expected. Part of that's because Latham has apparently had this lingering injury that was from the freaking joint practices, which is annoying. He should have been rehabbing that. Like, I know he wants to be out there, but I don't know. You put your starting tackle, me saying him because I believe he was probably pushing through it, in jeopardy. Like, dude, we're not even to week 1 yet, and you're pushing something you might not. So Dan Moore has also struggled. He went up against statistically the best pass rusher in the league right now in the guy from the Broncos in terms of pressure rate.
Yeah, Nick Benito.
He has the highest pressure rate right now in the league, so that was going to be tough. But aside from that, this is the thing that's the kicker for me. All offseason, Callahan is talking about we have to stop the self-inflicted wounds. We have to stop the penalties. We have to stop that. And this was the focus. Now, what drives me nuts about it is how can that be the focus for an entire offseason and we still look like the worst team in the league in terms of penalties and self-inflicted wounds? The Broncos game didn't feel like we should have been in it, but we still had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to score. It was a 1-score game. So we are definitely good enough and we fight hard enough to be competitive. And we're going to be even the double or triple the amount of competitive that we've already shown if we can just stop. But I just don't know what it is. Like, part of me wants to say coaching because it's some kind of discipline that has to be there. Like, sure, Callahan can keep saying that they focused on the penalties, but boy, it sure doesn't feel like it. It feels like every good thing we've done, there's a hole on the next play, or there's a this, we have the stupid penalty that was against the rule on the punt return kickback. Like, all of that stuff takes away any momentum that you need for your young starting quarterback. And that's what, we even had a couple on defense with Jeff Simmons making kind of a boneheaded, whether we agreed with it or not, he shoved.
Definitely a penalty.
It was a penalty. He shoved Barton when he didn't. Barton had him. They were going to blow the whistle. And it 12 just yards behind the line. Stuff. Like, it does. And we were getting them off the field. Like, you cannot give NFL teams extra chances to continuously beat you. You're not going to win. So that was a game in which we turned the ball over 3 times. We got 3 turnovers from the Broncos, and we still lost and didn't even get a touchdown. You can't shoot yourself in the foot, and that's why right now we're playing good teams, but it feels like we're beating ourselves more than they're beating us. So that's my most annoying, negative takeaway through 2 weeks that we got to clean up.
So we're doing positives and negatives.
I mean, I did. I know you guys have already said a little bit, but
yeah. I mean, I'll definitely do a positive. I mean, special teams, major positive. That's probably the most positive on the team. I also think we hit on a lot of underrated free agents, man. Xavier Woods has been balling. Cody Barton has been balling. 2 guys that were overlooked in free agency. Yeah, I mean, those 2 have been playing really good football.
Xavier Woods ain't scared to hit nobody now.
No, he's not. He's not. Also, the Cam Ward lore is insane. I can't wait to keep watching him, keep getting better. But I mean, those are the positive. That's really the only positives I have right now. Is we have a few players that are balling out and looking good. Simmons looked unblockable in week 1. He looked like a ghost in week 2.
Simmons, aside from a couple of those annoying penalties, he's looked what we needed him to be. So, and having Sweat back, hopefully, is going to help that even more.
I think that was the big thing this past week is not having Sweat there, man. Simmons is just getting double teamed and frustrated. And well, either way, the negatives, there's a lot of, I mean, where do we start? I mean, and I'll tell you I think the most frustrating, Kel is the word you were using, the most frustrating thing as a Titans fan is all offseason we looked at this offensive line as it wasn't an issue. We kept looking all offseason at this O-line and saying, man, this is the best line we've had since the Taylor Lewan era. I'm not worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about the receiving core, young quarterback, corners with Snead healthy, questionable, D-line, edge rushers. O-line was overlooked as an issue. Because when you look at the roster, you're like, okay, Dan Moore, left tackle, experienced, potential, Skoronski.
And even statistically slightly above average. Like, we thought we were just going to at least be able to hold our own over there.
Yep. Skoronski, all-pro left guard, looking like an all-pro
He
so
looks
far.
good.
Lloyd Cushenberry, I'll get to that in a second. Kevin Zeitler, all-pro with the Lions, and J.C. Latham, who we were expecting to have a monster year back at right tackle. And I hate to be the guy, but at what point do we start questioning Bill Callahan? I think the wrong Callahan is on the hot seat because
Yeah, I mean, they definitely hyped him up.
As much as Brian Callahan has not been the best, I know that he's a second-year head coach. He's going to make mistakes. But at what point do you start looking to Bill Callahan and saying, man, this O-line on paper and like looking at it, they're not as bad as they are playing. I mean, the PFF grades, I had them written down last week. Dan Moore was a 60. So not completely terrible, but not good by any means.
You also got to take into effect, like PFF, take what you want with those grades.
Yeah,
they don't look
you
at
can
the
take
whole
what you want with these grades, but they're letting you know, if someone's typically about a 70 or higher, they played pretty good. 60 to 50, they were like not the greatest. And then if you're lower than that, you were just bottom of the barrel. And so Dan Moore was a 60, which means he was right in that middle where he wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. Skronsky was a 63, again, not good, not terrible. And then brace yourselves, people. Oh my gosh. Lloyd Cushenberry was a 38. He was a 38. He was the lowest graded offensive lineman on the roster last week. Zeitler was a 40. And John Ojoku, however you pronounce his last name, was a 43. Oh my gosh. Here's what I'll say.
It felt like our right tackle was getting beat every play.
It felt like everybody was getting beat except for Skronsky. It felt like every play. And here's what I'll say. I think we rushed Lloyd Cushenberry back too soon. I think this staff's management of injuries is piss poor. Snead last year, he comes in. We know he's banged up. He should have been rehabbing, but we forced him to practice. Winston, we force him back from an ACL injury because he can't miss practice. He's a rookie, and he's not touching the field this year more than likely, but we want to force him to practice so he can
Which on the other side of that, half of that was also him because he felt something and didn't mention it as soon as he should have. So there is a little bit of a balance to that one.
Absolutely. But the list just keeps going on and on and on. J.C. Latham's thing, and now Lloyd Cushenberry. We're 8 months post to torn Achilles, and he's out there starting at center. So, it's like, man, I mean, that's rough. I think we should have kept Corey Levin there for a couple games. Not saying it would have been any better, but at least we know we would have had a healthy center because Lloyd Cushenberry, if you go back and watch the game, he looks hurt. I mean, you know what I mean? He doesn't look like himself. He's getting blown up.
Yeah, well, I've gone through a little bit of the all 22, but I wasn't paying attention too much to the line.
It's bad. They're all bad. Zeitler is an all pro last year, and he looks like trash. And then Latham, even when he was playing against the Broncos week 1, he didn't look that great either.
He wasn't good.
And then Ojukwu gets blown up last week too. And either way, the O-line is the worst part of the team. And Brian Callahan is getting a lot of crap. But I think a lot of the crap is being pointed to the wrong Callahan. At some point, Bill's got to get the heat too.
Yes, and the point you're making too is there's only so much that Brian Callahan can do when his line cannot block, especially for a rookie quarterback.
Cody,
we haven't been able to run the ball, which is our young quarterback's best friend is running the ball, and we should be able to because we got a dang good running back. And you can't have long developing routes down the field. That touchdown pass that had nothing to do with the O-line because the right tackle got beat immediately. He just happened to beat him around the edge and then make a ridiculous throw. And so, even some of the, if you look at the early, I think it was third down, and Ellick made that on the left sideline, like a little back shoulder. It was great. It was beautiful. But those had to happen all within a matter of 3 seconds because he just doesn't have any time. Yep. So it makes everything twice as hard on a young head coach and a young quarterback when you're trying to do something and your line can't do anything for you.
It's killing us. And last week we were sitting in the game watching, and we have a group chat, and Cody was sitting there saying, hey, why are we throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage? Why are we not throwing stuff downfield? And it's like, well, watch the plays that we try to run stuff down the field, and the O-line is just getting ran through. I mean, it's like they're not even touching them. So, you can't run pass plays when the line's getting blown up. You can't run the ball when the line's getting blown up. So, what are we supposed to run as an offense? And what are you supposed to call as a head coach if everything's getting blown up? Also,
and let me reassure the Titans fans, this quarterback that we have on our hands right now does not want to be throwing screens.
No, but
he wants to throw the ball down the field, but we can't right now.
I'm so glad you said that because let me make another point here. Why are we running screen passes and Chigakonkwo is getting blown 8 yards into the backfield by a 180-pound corner? Get him off the team. my gosh, he's so bad. He's so awful.
He's had a couple drops too.
He refuses to block as a tight end. Just bench him or cut him at this point. I'd rather see Gunnar Helm out there blocking on wide receiver screens.
Look, Gunnar Helm's a beast. I think he should be on the play more than Chig easily.
This is where I'll finally get to hop in here. That was my number one that I wrote down from after week 2. Was you watch week 1, or I don't know if it was our first drive or what, but it was our first drive of actually like making plays, getting downfield. Gunnar Helm was out there balling out. I mean, he had like 2 or 3 catches, 15 plus yards each time. I mean, he looked good. He was in there run blocking, missed a couple of blocks, whatever. But also, it's like we can't stress it enough. Like we went from Broncos defensive line and the Rams defensive line to the top 5 pressure rate teams in the league as of right now and last year. You know, I mean, the Rams. I mean, good Lord, you got Jared Verse and what white boy's name?
Fisk.
Yeah, Fisk. I mean,
Fisk.
Good Lord.
And the kid from Tennessee.
And Byron Young. So, I mean,
they're freaking loaded, dude.
They're loaded.
With the offensive line, and we said it in the beginning of the year too, this is technically, you got to think, we only have Skoronski, Latham, and Cush that are the returning offensive linemen that we have. Dan Moore, it's going to take time, right? Like, obviously, it's his main position, but new offensive line, it's going to take time. Ziegler, dude's old. He hasn't played, you know, he didn't really play much in the offseason, and I think it's showing a little bit. But he also dealing with some injury, which he's on the report, you know, from today, which we'll get into later. But it's just that offensive line is going to take time, especially when we're playing against these type of teams where they're going to beat you on pressure every single time.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what we do. I think also going back to the Callahan thing with Brian, a couple of plays in there. I mean, Latham gets hurt. Backup tackle comes in. What do we do the next play? We have Tony Pollard stay in and max protect, but where does he go? He goes and helps Cushenberry instead of our backup right tackle, and we almost let up a safety in week 1. So
we're going to have to play like 12 and 13 personnel and have our tight ends chip.
John Ogukwu, whatever the crap his name is, who I didn't even want on the team in the offseason, if you remember that. But we pull him in the game. Imagine a corner. What happens every time a corner gets hurt and another player comes in? They go right after him.
They go right
he lets
at
up
him.
a big play every time.
Yep.
So it's like, hello, why are we not sending Tony to go help our backup right tackle that's barely touched the field?
It's because everybody's getting blown up. That's the problem.
Well, I know.
Everybody's getting ran through.
But I'm gonna keep going here. Like I said, Gunnar Helm, I think he needs to play more. Is he starting over Chig? We would like him to. Don't really think it's going to happen. Roller's point about the screens and everything. I mean, you watch it in college all the time. I mean, 90% of these college plays you see in college football are sideline screen plays. And why does everybody run them? Because you get receivers that can actually block a freaking corner.
Yeah, and I will say we ran one in the first drive, I think, and it was to DK, and we picked up a good first down. And I think what's his face? I think it was
last week too.
It did. I think it was Ziegler jumped off sides on one of those.
But even then, like,
dude, yeah, he did. He looked a man downfield on like a 12-yard screen.
If you are running these screens, they only work A, if you put the ball where it's supposed to be, but B, your guy's got to win the one-on-one block. Because then he's got to make the receivers just got to make the first guy miss. I mean, that's
from
how
what I've heard about Alec and the way he likes to block, throw the screen behind him. Dang it!
Well, yeah, we did.
He got blown up.
Yeah, I don't care. At least you
like 6 yards, like 6 yards back into the play. That's the problem. They just gotta get physical, man. Like go block somebody.
Don't throw me a screen to Tyler Lockett with Calvin Ridley out there blocking.
No, we haven't done that. But like Alec Ironman was out there blocking for one. He got blown up. Chig is out there on a one-on-one block with the 180-pound corner, and he gets blown up.
Well, that's so where I'm saying that's where I would like to see Gunnar Helm instead of Chig. That way, you know, okay, you got a better blocker in there. Maybe
I'm going to see Gunnar Helm run the screen.
Depends. But
Titans
anyway,
have always had success with tight end screens.
I mean, they have, man. I'm not going to hate it because I mean, I would
shout
not be
out
opposed.
Arthur Smith.
I would not.
That offense was so
on
fun.
The Alec
dude.
train, though, I was one that said it weeks ago when we were doing our 53-man roster prediction. I said that this kid was going to start immediately. And what happened? He starts immediately, and he's out here being one of the top rookie receivers in terms of usage rate, and not just getting targeted. That's snap count too.
He's also the best receiver on our team right now.
He is the best receiver on our team.
Calvin looks like crap on
but
the
he's
field,
he's also fits that missing piece that we haven't had since like a AJ Brown, where he's a bigger style guy. He can run almost pretty much every route. And like Kale said, for example, in the week 1 Broncos game, or it might have been week 2, I can't remember, but the back shoulder third down quick throw to Alec.
Yeah, that was the Rams.
That's what we used to do to AJ, and that's just going to come something that's going to be just automatic between them two of Cam and Alec. I mean, Lord, what was it? That play that we challenged. I mean, he literally caught a hot route for him immediately and threw that, and obviously should have challenged play. Callahan came out and said he didn't know the rule, so that's crazy. We didn't even touch that, but
I'm not going near that one.
Hey,
I'm not starting that up again.
Don't forget the David Tyree helmet catch in this past game, where just
he's rolling out.
That was a dime too.
That was a
touchdown
dime.
was great. The touchdown was great. I'm not gonna lie. When he threw it, I was sitting there going, no.
That was one of those Steve Kerr watching Steph Curry throw up a crazy shot moment right there. Like, no, yes.
But yeah, that was a Mike Murray bang.
Yeah,
because I was like, I got flashbacks, dude. I did, and even the completion he had when he stepped onto the pocket and flipped it sideways, I was like, oh my god, like we're cursed. Dude. And then he catches it, and I'm like, okay, never mind, we're good.
It's like funny. This is like deja vu, except it's working.
But here's the thing: Tic Tac said it best. I was watching his video the other day, and he mentioned it.
Love Tyler Rowland.
Love him. Great guy. I mean, he's been beefing with the reporters here recently, but
I love it, dude. I love it. I love it.
He was talking about how, Will Levis was a linebacker and a running back growing up, not a quarterback, and learned quarterback. So his instincts were there to do all that stuff, but they weren't the instincts of
Cam was a basketball player.
Cam's been a quarterback. So he has those instincts, but he's a quarterback and he can make those plays instead of Will Levis. But another one that a lot of people are talking about on Twitter, I see that they're disappointed in, which to me is kind of crazy, is Femi. Obviously he has a pretty high draft pick that we drafted him at, so you have those expectations, and he isn't really like popping off on the stat sheet, but week by week you see he's getting a little more comfortable. He's making better plays. I mean, there's a couple plays in week 1 where he shot to the inside looking like Arden Key, and they ran it outside, and they got a 15-yard, 20-yard run. But I have a stat here pulled up by Tic Tac about Femi, and this is where people are saying he's not good, like we wasted a draft pick on him, all this other kind of stuff. And this is among the rookies. He has more pressures than Jalen Walker, Max Sawyer, and Nick Scordon. And he's also tied with Shamar Stewart, first-round pick by the Bengals. It's like he's getting pressure. It's just that it hasn't came down on the stat sheet as a sack or a tackle for loss or anything like that. But we dropping him in coverage. I mean, he hasn't made a lot of coverage plays, but he's there. He's covering his assignment.
Not to cut you off,
no, you're good.
Way less snaps too than those guys. Like, he's not the starter. Like, people keep forgetting he's not the starter.
I'm going to ask you all a question
about pressure. It's Arden Key and Draymond Jones have been starting, so it's
so who on our team on our D line has the highest pressure rate?
Probably Simmons, or I mean, maybe it's
I don't know
Simmons.
The stats because it's a little different, but I'll tell you that maybe this was just Edge or something that I was watching but the highest pressure rate we've had is Jihad Ward.
He's only barely been in and he got a sack or something like that. But
so even then, tells you we're struggling.
I think also you got to think about it. Offensive line wise, why we're struggling. Like I said, we're going up against these pass rushes. We don't have that kind of pass rush to practice against. So we don't have those reps.
I don't know, man. Hey, speak for yourself, man. Arden Key is a training camp. Freaking Micah Parsons looking demon out there, dude. He goes up.
But hey,
8 sacks
shout
in
out
practice.
Arden Key, man, blocking a field goal. Making a play.
Hey, he needs to stay on special teams. Well, dude, he's the worst rate. He's the worst graded edge rusher on the roster. He has the lowest.
Yeah,
dude, his pressure rate is like 8%. I listened to a little bit of what Tic Tac Times was saying. What you're saying, Drew? It was like an 8% pressure rate. He's the starter. He's getting the most snaps out of everybody, which could be good or bad. But at an 8% pressure rate, dude, that's lower than our rookie Femi, who we knew wasn't going to be that great in pass rush. We're talking about a veteran. So, I don't know, man. He's terrible.
And here's another thing I'll touch on. I didn't touch on it at the beginning. But as far as Kale's point about the penalties go, I mean, me and Roller have argued this with you and everything else and other fans I've seen, and Tic Tac's even said it too. But, at some point, the players got to be the players. You
got to execute.
Steve Kerr can only tell the Golden State Warriors where to be at on offense on every play so many times. They got to know where to go. You as an offensive lineman, hey guys, we're going to run XXXX, name the play. All right, on 2, break. And if you're jumping on 1, that's not on Callahan. That's on the player not knowing the freaking play.
Also, we're at home. We're not freaking on the road at Neyland Stadium at 7 o'clock at night, and there's 100,000
we're not angry
you don't
see Skronk sitting there like this. And then they snap the ball. Come on. Also, Skronk, phenomenal start of the season, I think, so far. I mean, he's looking like a guy
Too
that we're
bad we
going
don't
to
have 5 of him.
We're going to have to pony up some cash for Skoronski.
Hey, we enjoy it while it lasts, man, because, I mean, unless he's a trooper, man, this team will start turning around. I don't know if I'm him, if I'm staying on this roster with how bad they've been.
We'll see. I mean, I think also with Cam, I think he's played pretty well. Obviously, the best of his ability. He's even came out today in his press conference today. He's talking about, that he could probably do a lot better of getting to his reads quicker. Like Austin was talking about week 1, taking those sacks, in the field goal range, getting us out of there. Got to get rid of the ball. Even if you don't have somebody to throw to, throw it somewhere near them, above their head, out of bounds. Like, you can do that instead of trying to just make a play. I mean, I think he's right now just in so much of a do or die mode where he's got to make a play. And
let me remind everybody, that's a great point. And we're going to be watching somebody, or at least I am, because I watch Thursday Night Football. We're going to be watching somebody tomorrow night in Josh Allen, who's arguably, a top, whatever you will, player in the league. He won MVP last year. And his first season, his first season, he threw 10 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
And that's the thing. I don't even think Cam's thrown one yet, has he?
He hasn't. Now, he's turned the ball over. He had the fumble, but he hasn't thrown a pick. And he hasn't really had one that's been
in any kind of questionable area.
He did in the preseason, but not since then. So
also, it's going to
happen. Like, it's going to happen. He's going to throw a pick. But
it's funny you say that. I saw a stat today that said he's the first rookie ever, and I might be wrong,
in the first
to
2
not
games.
throw an interception in the first 2 games of his career. So, like, props to him for sure.
Or no, I think he's also. I think he was the first number 1 pick.
He's also chasing that kind of. And Tic Tac's even said it too. And I feel like we quote Tic Tac so much, but it's just because he's truly down in the trenches.
Facts,
he knows what he's talking about.
Like he knows what he's talking about.
He's kind of looking for the big splash plays, which is what he did in college too. Which they led to freaking college last
looking
year
very
in yards
long
per game. But I feel like
running like a freaking.
Like Tom Brady said it best. Like you're a quarterback's best friend's a check down, man. Like if he can start sitting there, read 1 ain't there, read 2 ain't there. I know my running back's coming out. He's going to be open, boom, get in him. Because right now, the reason why the Titans offense is so bad right now.
You can't even get to read number 2.
Well, we can't. Not even that. It's not even that. It's just that, bro, we are so bad on first down plays.
You got to get ahead of the
so
sticks.
Bad. We are consistently 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. Like we are 3rd and long every single. And Callahan's even said he's like, we just got to get on schedule. Plus with the penalties, you can't. It's literally impossible.
Yeah.
You're starting 1st and 15, 2nd and 20. I mean, it's just hard.
27 or 28 penalties through 2 games.
Too many. I know that.
It's too many. I think it's 27 or 28. We're definitely the most penalized team. Going back to what you said.
I don't know.
With penalties,
some of them,
it's killing us, man. It's players, man. Just make a play, and show some just intelligence of any sort, and just don't be.
One thing I will bring up, I forgot to bring it up on my rant. People are going to get hate for this because they said he didn't play well in week 2, but you go watch the tape. He played pretty well other than a couple catches. But the main thing is that L'Jarius Sneed played a full football game injury-free.
And he didn't practice today because he's got an injury. But
that's been we did that all last year when he was healthy too. I mean,
that's fair. But this is what I will say too, from the people, because yes, as frustrating as it is for us to know how capable he is and still give up like a touchdown or whatever to Devontae Adams,
who's a Hall of Famer, by the way.
That's a gold jacket. That's a gold jacket, and arguably one of, if not the best route runner we've ever seen. His release is ridiculous. Also, you think about the fact that there was a time where they actually, I forget who was doing our game, but the crew, the CBS crew that did our game, maybe it was Iron Eagle and them, but they showed a little montage of them throughout the game that day. And it was like Sneed's winning battles, Devontae's winning battles. That's what happens when you got 2 really good players. And so, unfortunately,
made up the ground.
Yes, and this is the reason why it hurts worse, is because when Sneed gives up a catch that ends up being a touchdown, it hurts a little bit worse because we're not turning around and answering that. Our offense is not doing much at all to help our defense right now.
Who couldn't cover a blade of glass last week? And that was
McCreary. Neither could Brownlee, though, either. They were both getting lit.
I mean, at least Brownlee didn't get called for 50 million penalties
right
like
now,
he did week 1.
I kind of feel like Brownlee can't cover somebody unless he's tackled them. So,
also,
I like Brownlee a lot, but we get your hands off of him for mercy's sake.
I will say this too, Drew. I'm gonna back you up a little bit further here. let's think about, okay, there's two plays specifically that Devontae Adams just torched L'Jarius Sneed. And let's look at the routes that Devontae ran. So the first one was about like a 45-yard catch up the left sideline. He's in the slot or on the right side of the field.
Double move?
This was he runs all the way.
This is when L'Jarius
runs
all the
way across the middle of the field, all the way to he has enough time. Mind you, I'm saying this because I'm letting you know how bad the pass rush is. Because Matthew Stafford has no pressure, and Devontae gets to run all the way across the field, double move, and then go straight up the sideline, and Matthew Stafford just floats it in there for like his 50-something yard gain. And then the other one, Devontae gets to run all the way up the field, do another little stop double move, and go up for a touchdown. Where's the defensive line? Where's the pressure?
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's having a freaking McDouble back there before he throws the ball.
Like, yeah, of course he's going to give up a touchdown. Of course he's going to give up yards. There's no pressure
on the quarterback. You know how hard it is to cover receivers for like 8 or 10 seconds?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
And this, we're talking about a Hall of Fame, top 5 receiver in the league when he's healthy and has consistently been that for like the past 6 years, who's got 10 seconds to run a route. Yeah, no crap, he's open. Like, I mean, come on. Like, let's be realistic here. If we had any, like, half-decent defensive line that can get pressure on the quarterback, neither of those two plays happen. The problem is Stafford had 8 seconds to make both of them. So, either way.
All in all,
give it what you take.
I remember to put this in here. As far as quarterback play goes, I mean, we've seen that I've been super impressed. Obviously, they talked about it coming out of college, but about him, his, calmness in the pocket and that kind of stuff, maybe not, translating to the NFL, but I feel like for the most part, he's doing the right things. I mean, good Lord, we're not sitting here having to worry about him freaking trying to truck somebody and dislocating his shoulder. I mean, he's finally getting out of bounds. He even tried to slide last week. Like, this is stuff that we didn't see with Levis. I think he's only going to get better. I mean, week 1 to week 2, you saw improvement. You saw week 1 to week 2, you saw improvement from Alec. It was like we're getting better. It's just that we're just losing. And like Hale said, it sucks because we're beating ourselves. Mm-hmm. But the reason that it sucks so bad is because we don't have to lose like this anymore. If this will play. I mean, just remind, this was week 4 last week, people. This is week 4. This is what we were dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, he's staring him down.
I mean, just staring him.
That's a defensive lineman. Who'd he throw it to?
Granted, we won that game. We always beat the Dolphins in primetime, which is why we're not playing them this year. It's just
I get to face Josh Allen tomorrow night.
The
instead.
Difference in what we're experiencing right now is just because I think we know we have a guy that's capable, and we have some young pieces around him to where long term we're looking in the right direction, but nobody cares about long term anymore.
Yeah, it's all about now.
The Titans fans are spoiled because of 2019's year.
Well, that, but also the Jaden Daniels effect. Like, people saw him come in and everything changed in 1 year, and he was right there in also, the playoffs.
Look at him this year. He doesn't look as good this year. Look at CJ Stroud.
Back to Roller's point, about the Taylor Lewan line area. We're not just going to sit here and act like they didn't have penalties either. We're not going to sit here and act like Taylor Lewan wasn't holding people out the.
And that's the culture that we have to build, though, because Taylor Lewan was the type of guy to get you a 10-yard holding penalty that was terrible, and then he would give you a heck of a block, and Derek goes for 50.
I mean, so it's everybody talking about, they missed Vrabel. They missed Vrabel because Vrabel never got penalties. You go look at Vrabel's 2018 to 23 or 22, whatever it was when he got fired. The teams where we were bad, we were a top 10 penalized team in the league. When we were good, we were like middle of the pack. So, I mean, it's like when you have bad players, you're going to get penalties. Mm-hmm. And I said it in our group chat while we were watching. I wish some players on our team, Jeffrey Simmons, I don't really know who would it be on the offense because we don't really have like a veteran leader, style guy on the offense. But I wish somebody would get in the dude's freaking face, bro. I wish our head coach would show some freaking emotion, dude. Light somebody up.
Yeah, dude, I love that video of him just giving it to Will Levis after one of those turnovers in those games last year.
Yep.
I think he says, "What the F are you doing?" And the camera caught every bit of it because it's like, dude, get your head out of your butthole.
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
Honestly. But the penalties are killing, man, and it sucks because Callahan spent all offseason talking about penalties, and like we said
almost
earlier,
had more penalty yards and offensive yards than we.
It's crazy. I
it
just don't
was
understand.
A matter of like a difference of 4 yards, I think.
And it's dumb penalties. It's not stuff that we can't control. It's false starts. It's illegal man downfield on a 15-yard screen pass. Kevin Zeitler, buddy, you're in your 18th season.
Back block.
You're in your 18th season, dude. We're running a pass play. Don't run 5 yards down the field. I mean, it's not that hard, but it's stuff that you can't coach. Like it's stuff that like the coach can only say so many times, and then the player has to do it.
Yeah,
buddy,
it's not
we're throwing
like
the ball. Hey, pal,
it's not like you can
pass.
tell J.C. Latham if he makes a penalty that he's getting benched because you put somebody else in there.
Tony
Dude,
Pollard,
like,
Tony Pollard
Jesus,
breaks
dude.
one for like 20 yards, and we got Dan Moore still blocking the guy backfield. Like, let go.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But Callahan's taking so much crap, and it's like it's not really the coach. It's just players being stupid.
Mhm.
Like, dude, it's a pass. Don't run 5 yards
It's just
down the
because he's the
field.
face of it, man. Like
Yeah.
schematically,
kindergarten.
you look at our offense, you look at our routes, you look at our plays. I mean, I saw we're dead last right now on explosive play average right now in yards, and so that's a problem. But at the same time, when you don't have a line to block, you're not going to have explosive plays unless your receiver makes somebody miss. So I think schematic. I mean, you saw it last year. Like everybody's wondering our offense was so bad last year, but Roller even pointed out last year where if you go back and you watch it all 22 last year, people were open. It's just that Levis didn't throw the ball. And I think as of right now, granted, there are a couple plays that we run that I'm like, why in the world are we running stuff like this? Like a whole like roll cam out to the right on a fake, handoff, and we got Gunnar Helm coming out the backside all the way across left, and like we want him to throw that. It's like that. That's what I don't understand.
We did have one of those, and the all-22 was nasty, but Cam had a little, it was in the first drive. He had a little play action roll out to his opposite side.
We need to do that more, though. We need to get him outside of the pocket. Get him moving.
I agree. It was nasty, but
the line can't block you. You got to get him somewhere, dude. Like,
I want to move on here before we take up too much time and kind of get into the week 3 preview here against the Indianapolis Colts, first division game. I'm excited about this one. The Colts are 2-0, and let me tell you, they have not punted the ball yet. So it's going to be a challenge, and I can't believe I'm sitting here saying that, considering their starting quarterback is the Daniel Jones, but he's been balling. So we're going to have to show up this week, and I think this is an opportunity to be in a game and
I think
go out, and I think you got go win the game. Like
Danny Dimes, he's been decent. Week 1 he was great, but you go back, he actually watched week 2.
They're due for a punt.
He wasn't that great last week. He really wasn't. Honestly, you got Jonathan Taylor. He's always been a problem for us, especially if we don't have Sweat playing. That really
that's going to
worries
be a
me.
big problem.
But you got to think about it, guys. Like we're 0-2, but the Chiefs are also 0-2. The
season just started.
Yeah, like we have an opportunity here to where if we win this game and the Jags lose, I mean we're tied for second in the division already, and we're 1-2. So like I think the division right now is, and Texans are 0-2, so it's wide open. It's just that we got to get our crap together.
I want to read y'all a stat here. I had to look it up just to double check and make sure. Can anyone tell me what the most underrated part of a football team is? What is the one spot on a team that gets overlooked every year? Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the players on it. Nobody says anything until it's a problem. Can somebody just tell me? And I'll make my point after you answer the question. What is the most important part of a football team that nobody talks about and that nobody gives the credit to when they're playing good, but you hear it all the time when they're playing bad? Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, true. Shout out Max Gilbert for sucking in the Georgia game and missing the game-winning field goal. We're still upset. But no, that's not where I'm going.
I mean, I would say offensive line or special teams.
Absolutely. It is by far the offensive line. Least talked about people in the league, but yet they're the most crucial to the success of an offense. If your offensive line sucks, which as we've seen, and they're getting blown up, you suck. I want to read you the stats from this Broncos game. Did you know that the Colts offensive line only gave up 1 sack to the Broncos all game? Did you know that Daniel Jones was basically not even pressured almost all game? Can you even believe that for 1 second? That just goes to tell you, it does not matter who you have at quarterback. It does not matter who you have at wide receiver. If your offensive line is horrible, your offense will be horrible. They are 2-0 with Daniel Jones at quarterback. They are 2-0 with Michael Pittman, whatever his name is, at receiver. A rookie, Tyler Warren, who looks amazing. But an injury-prone Jonathan Taylor at running back. This isn't the Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. This is Daniel Jones, Michael Pittman, and Jonathan Taylor. And a rookie Tyler Warren. But that offensive line, dude, is smothering. They just shut down the best pass rush in the league with the Broncos, who killed our line.
We didn't do it.
It's gonna be
did
rough.
it week 1, which I think you saw. We did it week 1. We had a couple of successes off of it, but I don't think I even remember seeing us do it week 2. Is blitzing our linebackers or even corners, our nickel corners. Week 1 we blitzed in. We made Bo Nix uncomfortable. Week 2, I mean, good Lord, we couldn't do anything. And I think that's going to be a focus point going into week 3. Because if we can't get pressure, especially with that offensive line, if your defensive line can't make pressure, you got to get a disadvantage somewhere, and you got to do that by blitzing.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of my final take and what I want to see for this week. It's just that, like, I want to see the continued progression of our rookies that we've been seeing. I'd like to see Gunnar Helm get involved a little bit more, but I really need to see us take another step towards not shooting ourselves in the foot so much.
Yep.
Let's chill out with the penalties. Let's just play smarter. If we get beat, we get beat, but we just got to stop beating ourselves. That's the stuff that just drives you crazy. And so that's really where I'm at. I really think we have a chance to win a game like this. But again, you're not going to win a game like this if you keep shooting yourself in the foot like we have been. So that's what I'm looking forward. I'm not going to predict anything, but obviously hoping for a win. I think it's a game that we can win. So let's hope that's going to be the case.
I think we lose this game personally.
Yeah.
I think what I'm looking forward to the most is to see Cam Ward keep progressing. And I feel like this is the first week so far this season where we're not playing just an overly smothering defense.
It's a home game too, by the way.
It feels like our offense should be able to be better than it has the last 2 weeks because we're not playing these elite defenses. This is the first team we're playing that doesn't have an elite defense. But I will say, I don't think we're going to get any pressure on Daniel Jones. We are the least pressure percentage win rate defensive line in the league again, second year in a row. Actually, we might be second behind the Panthers. Either way, that's not good company to be in. Daniel Jones is going to have all day in the pocket to throw unless we scheme up some good blitzes. So that's concerning. And I don't think we're going to win this game. So
here's my thing. I think coming into this season, I didn't think we would win this game no matter who was quarterback for the Colts. But based off these first 2 weeks, I mean, I think you got to think there's at least a chance. I mean, like I said, we were 2 plays away last week from being tied 26-26 in the fourth quarter. And who knows how that would have gone. Because obviously the Rams would have changed their play style. They weren't going to be trying to run up the score like they were. They've been more conservative, that kind of stuff. This game for me comes down to, I think this is finally the get back right game for Calvin Ridley, get back on track game for him. You're not going up. To my knowledge, I don't really think they have anybody that can fully shut him down like he has been the past 2 weeks.
They do have Travarius Ward.
I mean, they do.
He's really good.
Yes, good. But I'm kind of surprised we haven't been using Ridley in a lot of motion like we thought that Callahan even said we were coming into this season. So maybe that changes. Who knows? So I'm looking at Calvin Ridley. To me, the game changer here is T'Vondre Sweat if he plays or not. I think if T'Vondre Sweat does not play, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a field day, and it's going to be rough for us.
Yep.
Because I think, like you said, Jeff week 1 was an animal, and that's because he had big meatloaf beside him. Week 2, Jeff had maybe like 1 pressure, 2 pressure, something like that. But other than that, he was getting doubled the whole game. So I think T'Vondre Sweat is massive. And like Hale said, just trying to cut down the penalties. I mean, they're going to happen, but if you keep driving yourself out of, plays almost of even trying to get first downs, it's going to be rough. I mean, the Colts have a good defense. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be any on the type of level that we have faced. But I did think those 2 guys, Ridley, Sweat, and then honestly, I really wanted to see Cam just start taking a lot more checkdowns when they're there. Get his completion percentage up. Right now, it's pretty dog water, and that's just
right at about 50, I think,
because he's having to throw it away so much and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of 50-50. It's a home game, but honestly, they don't mean much. It was great to see last week, at least in the first half, the fan attendance, and they sounded decently loud from the TV. I couldn't really tell too much of a, difference, but I've seen some guys, some of my buddies and stuff that went to the game, and they said it was pretty loud, so that's good. But for us right now, it's second half suck for us. So that's another point to look at is how we adapt and come out second half, especially fourth quarters. We've been terrible in the fourth quarter this year so far. So that would be my takeaways from this upcoming week.
Yep. And I think that's pretty much what we wanted to hit. I mean, hopefully we'll be back on a more consistent basis here, and doing some
we're still on track to win 11 games.
doing some reactionary things for the game, and then also looking at upcoming games as we continue through the weeks here. But just excited to keep going. I want to encourage our fans not to just get down in the dumps because it's easy. Nobody wants to lose. I can guarantee you nobody in that locker room wants to lose. It's just one of those things that you got to go through if you want, but eventually it will turn itself around. We just have to keep stacking good players. We got to keep growing with the players we do have. And if you lose out hope and you become a bandwagon, so be it. But I'm going to be sticking with the Titans, and it's always going to be a Titan up for me. And we just got to go from there. Cam Ward's going to keep growing. I have confidence in Cam Ward. So, and I'd like to see some kind of stability and consistency with Callahan, give him a chance to learn how to be a good head coach. And that's what we're gonna have to do. So that's where I'm at.
I like what you said there with fans, come to a realization, and it's it really comes down to you just got to adjust your expectations.
Yeah.
This is not
Watch
a
the game
championship
with a different
team,
lens.
man.
Yeah.
This is not a championship team, guys. This is year one of a rebuild that they said was a multi-year rebuild. Just calm down. Like, is the team going to be bad? Yes. Is the team going to make mistakes? Yes. Like,
we want to be getting good when we in that new stadium.
Yes, just get better every week. Get better every week. Get Cam Ward better every week. Callahan coach better every week. Limit penalties every week. And just, have your young players get that experience. This isn't a championship team. This was not the expectation. Our betting line this season was 5 wins. There's a reason it was set at 5 wins. Like, this is not a super talented roster. So everybody just needs to take a chill pill and just calm down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I said in our group chat, and I think Titan fans need to be saying, I'm coming in this season. Like I said, I'm only coming in this season to watch the rookies and appreciate the good plays when they happen. Because, like, it's a young team. Stuff's going to happen. I mean, to be honest, I think our years, that first year with Tannehill when we made that playoff run, I mean, that was just a fluke, I think. I mean, who would have thought Tannehill would have come out here and put up better stats than even Patrick Mahomes was at the time? And we had a better all-around team for sure, but it took a while to get there.
That O-line was different, dude. That O-line was different.
It was, but that was a lot of free agent signings, drafted guys. It took a couple years to get there.
Had a pretty good receiver in there.
Yeah, I don't
remember his name, but he was like top 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
he's not getting used, and it crushes me.
And people, I mean, we don't forget.
We'd use
obviously.
him. We'd use him.
We don't forget, but you got to remember, we are a solid 2-3 years behind in terms of draft picks that didn't work out, first rounders, because of
J-Rob. Appreciate that, J-Rob.
3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to think like offensive line, Isaiah Wilson. I mean, he would have came in like about year 3, year 4 of his contract now.
Caleb Farley,
2020 season. This would have been his last year on
his
a
last year
contract.
His rookie deal. So like, you got to think about that kind of stuff. So like, we've had that. We've had Caleb Farley. I mean, by God, I mean, like, we should have fired him as soon as he drafted, putting that pick in. But it's just stuff like that just put us behind. But, we found guys like Brownlee. We found guys like Ellick. We found guys like DK. Obviously, Cam. Femi is going to grow. Like, it's just going to take – Austin even said it perfect when we did the draft recap. Most of these guys that we drafted outside of rounds 1 through 3, these are your guys you want to come into form year 2, year 3 of, their contracts. So it's just people just got to wait, man. Like, I get the negativity is coming because of the stadium, because the taxpayers are paying so much for this new stadium and we just suck. That's where it's coming from. Ultimately, that's where it is.
It's not even just that, man. A lot of these, look, a lot of Tennessee Titans fans are also Tennessee Vols fan, dude, and they want to see people win, right? They want to see this team win because it has been so long, and this team hasn't been a winning. This franchise has not been a winning franchise, and they're waiting. They've been waiting for 25 years since we got stuffed at the 1-yard line to get back there, and it just hasn't happened.
I kept bringing that up too.
Like, just breathe. I have full confidence in our GM. I got full confidence in Borgonzi. And, at the end of this year, if Callahan's not the guy, Borgonzi's going to get his guy, So, like, just enjoy it, while it's here, man. It's going to be a long 15 more weeks. So, like, just lock it in, dial it in.
Yeah. I mean, we got Cam for the next 5 years, guaranteed. So like it's going to take time. But other than that, hopefully we come in here next week with a victory over the Colts. However, we skim that out, whether it be a blowout, field goal, whatever. If not, I don't even know who we play week 4. But
I think is there a bye week?
No,
week
I don't
5's
think so.
our bye week. Maybe. I'm pretty sure week 5's the bye week.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I just really want us to get through next week, hopefully with a win, but also injury free. That's the thing right now where we're just not deep enough on either side of the ball to afford any injuries right now. But that'll be my final.
Yep. And again, I'll just reiterate, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, do whatever you feel is necessary, and we'll try to take the feedback and run with it. Again, we will try to be more consistent here with some kind of game reactions and also game previews that we'll be doing upcoming in the weeks to come. And hopefully it doesn't end up like last year where it's just all completely down in the dumps. But that's where we're at. It's always going to be tighten up for me.